When I first read the script, I mean, first of all, we had no idea what was going to wind up in our inbox. I mean, Greta didn't write a treatment. She just said, I am going to write the Barbie movie, and it lives somewhere between a Birkenstock and a high heel. But when it did wind up in my inbox, and I read the script, and I thought, oh my God, we are really, really like onto something. Robbie Brenner, president of film at Mattel. I grew up in, I think, what was the greatest city in the world, New York City, and going to plays and having so much culture. From a very early age, I always knew that I wanted to be involved with storytelling. My father loved taking photographs, and he used to have an enlarger, and so we would take photographs and then we would develop them in the bathroom and watch them sort of come to life. But I would say my earliest memory of feeling like I definitely want to be involved with movies and make movies was my father took me to buy a pair of sneakers. They had sort of a hand cranked, almost like an animated kind of movie. If you cranked it, all the images would come together. And I remember that I was so uninterested in getting shoes, but I just wanted to watch all the movies. I was definitely sort of a social butterfly. I was always producing things. I was producing the dances and the social groups and, you know, where we were going to go after and what we were going to do and the dinners. And so I was constantly, you know, sort of bringing people together and creating magic at a young age. I went to Tisch, School of the Arts, and I studied producing. And in film school, I met so many, people that I still have great relationships with. You know, you meet so many people, but you learn every single aspect of filmmaking. I spent 4 years kind of making movies in New York City until I moved to Los Angeles. So my first job when I moved to LA in 1994 was working for Mickey Rourke. Mickey was amazing. At that time I was taking different classes, and he's like, you don't need to take the class. Let's sit here and we're gonna read a play tonight and we're gonna talk about it. I mean, truly, we read some David Mamet plays. You know, I traveled with him. I saw a lot and experienced a lot. A couple of years later, actually, after he did The Wrestler, we put him in Immortals. I worked on that movie, and so it was a nice kind of full circle moment. For me, I just like to empower people and support people. It's the way I sort of go about like my business and my career, whether it's as a producer, whether it's as an executive or as a boss. I think it's just giving people like freedom and space to be able to create and to do what they do. I've watched people try to micromanage so much the process, in development as a development executive, the note on the note on the note. And it's like, I think you just have to allow things to be organic. Great movies start with singular, authentic visions. I think it's about filmmakers and really writer-directors that actually have that singular vision, like Greta did on Barbie, from like the very beginning to the end. They have a point of view. They have a story that's personal and intimate to themselves that only they can tell. When I first read the script, I mean, first of all, we had no idea what was going to wind up in our inbox. I mean, because she didn't write a treatment. She just said, I am going to write the Barbie movie, and it lives somewhere between a Birkenstock and a high heel. But when it did wind up in my inbox, and I read the script, and I thought, oh my God, in that moment, I sort of knew we are really, really onto something. In general, the movie is so much bigger than all of us, and when you're on kind of a journey like that, that's sort of, that becomes sort of it becomes a living, breathing kind of its own thing. You have to sort of step away and just allow it to be what it is. I think you just have to stay true to yourself and truly what you believe and your convictions, and never waver from that. When everybody else is saying no, 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 I'm going yes, yes, yes. And it's those things that sort of scare me that I run at in my life. Like whether it was Dallas Buyers Club, when everybody told me you're never going to get this movie made, and I was like, yes, I am. I'm gonna do this. And and Barbie too was really the last thing I thought that I would be making as the first movie I made at Mattel. But it is those things in life that give you that, the hair stands up at the back of your neck and you go that's what I need to be doing. So I would say it's good to be afraid. It's good to be scared. That's when when you're doing the right thing.